And my plan might be different than where we actually end up. So we'll see what happens. So we're going to start this morning with a little meditation. So let's just find our sit bones and anchor down into the earth. And draw it nice and tall and take a nice one long inhale through the nose. And blow it out like you're blowing out a candle. And one more time, deep breath in. And one more time, deep breath in. So as you sit in easy pose, feel your sit bones anchored to the earth and this slight engagement in the pelvic floor and grow long in the crown. And imagine that with each breath that you take on the inhale, you're breathing in cleansing, nurturing, purifying breath. And as you exhale, anything that's no longer serving you, you exhale it out. And imagine a beautiful golden bubble of light surrounding you. This golden light is pure love. It's warm and nurturing. And it embraces you with unconditional love. No expectations, no rules, no requirements. This beautiful golden light gives you permission to just show up in your pure, authentic self, allowing any emotions to come through, be it sadness or joy. And the beautiful occurrence of joy and sadness at the same time. And through this light, healing begins to occur. Whatever healing needs to happen today. And an opening begins to happen at the heart space. An opening to what is. An acceptance of what has been and what will be. Again, feeling that beautiful golden light surrounding you, the warmth, unconditional love. Sinking down into your sit bones, growing long in the crown. Breathing in what is. And noticing your breath. Noticing how not only do we unconsciously breathe in and out, but we also consciously have control of our breath. Breathing all the way into the body, all the way to your feet. And then the same, breathing all the way out. Allow your physical being to be breathed. And if the mind decides to join in, love it and invite it to the other room. Like a child that wants attention, it just needs a little love and compassion, and then invite it to be still and quiet. It's okay to turn away and give full attention to your breath. The mind will be there when you come back. And in our practice, as this arises, know that it's okay. It's a process of noticing and noticing. Deepening the breath a little bit more. And slowly on the next inhale, begin to create some circles around your lower back. So moving the entire body. And just notice what direction you're going. It doesn't matter. Some days we move clockwise, some days we move counterclockwise. I always figure that if I'm moving counterclockwise, I'm unwinding. I'm moving clockwise and moving into something new. It doesn't matter whether that's real or not for you. Set your intention for opening the low back. Almost like you're stirring a pot with your entire spine. And deepening it, allowing the circle to get bigger. Sometimes it's not a circle, sometimes it's an oval or a square, it doesn't matter. Just feel the body and then begin to bring some cat-cow into it. So as you move forward, the heart space goes forward, and as you move back, the back arches into cat, and you get kind of this flowy sort of movement through the spine. You might notice that the spine is stuck in places. And that's okay, just notice it, bring your breath to that place of stuckness and continue to move. The best thing about being stuck is that when you notice it and stick with it, you begin to move again. And bring the neck into it. Start making some movements with the head, opening the neck. Don't get too crazy with how you tip the head back, but bring some ear to shoulders, getting a full sensation with the spine moving. And then as you come to the front, heart forward, facing forward, pause. Lengthening through the crown, dropping out of the shoulders, heading forward with your heart. And this is the first forward fold, so it may not be very deep. But notice that as you inhale, dropping out of your shoulders, and as you exhale, it gives you space to drop lower. And then inhaling up. And remember which direction you were going before and go the other way. Do you remember? If it feels familiar, try it the other way and see if that feels less familiar. And start small. And then grow a little bigger, inviting cat-cow into it. So we've got a lot of things happening in the body. Got a little opening to the front, opening to the back. Now bring the neck into it. So I'm going clockwise now. Building some energy, preparing for what is to come. Breathing into it. Bringing your neck into it. Noticing how this direction is different. Noticing where there's ease and flow and where there's stuckness. Attaching nothing to either side of it. Just noticing it. The trick to balance is noticing with no judgment. Oh, stuck there. Ease and flow there. Okay. Now I notice my stuckness is less and my ease and flow is deeper. And on the next inhale, as you come forward, leaning forward, drawing long in the crown, heading with that heart space. Notice how now that you've gone the other direction, you might have more space to dive forward. So this is catching the hamstring attachments here. And then inhaling up, growing long in the spine, shoulders are down, and cat into it. So really arch that back. Draw that belly button in. Inhaling, cow. Growing long, really arch that back. And exhaling back. And inhaling in. And exhaling back. One more time, nice deep inhale, inhaling in. Draw those shoulders down, really arch it, open it up, and then exhale. And then pause, nice and tall. Draw those shoulders down, elbows down to the floor, just lengthen tall. Notice what it feels like to just sit in easy pose again. Soften your gaze, coming back into the room. We're gonna find our way to standing. So whatever that looks like in your body. My body today, it feels a little owie, but you might have to step one leg up and then the other. Come to standing with your feet hip distance apart, finding your full expression of mountain pose. Hands facing forward, closing your eyes, dropping in. Notice what's happening in the feet. So right as I began, I'm leaning forward onto the balls of my feet. Energetically, I'm almost ready to take off. So what would it feel like if you sink back into your heels, lift your toes up, engage your core so that you'll have to soften your knees, grow long in your crown, and then set your little toes down. And then the fourth toe, the third, second, and the first one, without gripping the floor. Notice if that brings you more into now. Stepping the right foot apart just a little wider than hip distance and begin to twist slowly. So we're headed into coat sleeves. We start out really slow and then begin to pick it up and let those arms just swing loosely. And as you get a little more vigorous with this, you can let your hands come up a little higher and hit on the back body, which is right about where your kidneys are and your adrenal glands. So this is a really good hormone stimulation for igniting your get up and go, igniting the adrenal glands. And the kidneys are all about cleansing, clearing and cleansing. On the right side, we catch some of the spleen, which is worry. And on the left side, oh, I did it backwards. On the left side is spleen, a little bit of worry. And on your right side, if you hit on the right side, that's liver, that's anger. So we're gonna just stimulate that and invite all that energy to move out of there. That's all emotions are, they're just energy. It's okay to let that energy move. Breathing into it. I'm holding my breath, are you? Let's add some voice to it. Ha, 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 ha. ha, 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 ha. Three more. Ha, ha. Two more. Ha. Last one. Ha, ha. Slow it down. Don't stop. Just slow it down. Because like any energy, it has to calm. Anytime there's a storm, it's still completely still. The energy comes up. It gets wild. After the storm, then there's stillness. So find stillness. You can bring your feet back underneath you into mountain pose. Take a deep breath. Feel the energy move through your hands, through your legs, all the way through the crown of your head. Just notice it. Excellent. Inhaling your hands up overhead. Exhaling them down. So almost as if you're finishing that clearing. Exhaling the hands down. Inhaling the hands up. Exhaling the hands down. This time we're going to add to it. Inhaling the hands up. Exhaling, swan dive forward. All the way down. Bend your knees. The knees are not, the hamstrings are not completely warm. Bend them down deep. Exhaling, lifting the tail. Bend the knees down deep. Exhaling, lifting the tail. Bending the knees. Exhaling, bending. Exhaling, lifting. Last one, bending. Exhaling, lifting. Inhaling, halfway up. Exhaling down. Inhaling, reverse swan dive. Exhaling, hands down center line. Half sun salutations. One time I'll talk you through. Inhaling, circling the hands around. Exhaling, swan dive forward. Inhaling, halfway up. Exhaling down. If you can touch the floor, do. Inhaling, reverse swan dive. Hands down center line. I'm going to grow quiet. We're going to do 5 more rounds. Follow your breath. Remembering that your breath might be slower than others, and that's okay. It might be quicker, that's okay. Follow your breath. And so we have 3 more. Inhaling, circling the hands. Swan dive forward. Halfway up. Exhaling down. Reverse swan dive. Last 2 on your own. Exhaling the hands down. And as you finish your last round, bring your hands to standing Anjali Mudra. Feel the energy movement. Notice what's different. Find your breath. And on the next inhale, circling the arms down all the way around. Big hands up overhead. Exhaling, sinking right back into chair pose. All the way back. Engage that pelvic floor. Now, if you have this bend over thing happen, See if you can bring yourself up and sit down and back. Notice if your feet are clenching the mat. Reach your arms strong, drawing out of your shoulders. Find your breath. On the next inhale, rising up, nice and tall. Exhaling, arms down nice and slow. Reach those arms all the way out of the shoulder joints. Imagine that you're moving all the atmosphere away. And as your hands come down beside you, find yourself coming into mountain pose, palms facing forward, stillness. Find your breath. This is where the work is in the stillness. It's common that monkey wants to jump in and play, and everything gets still. So find your breath. Notice the inhale. Notice the exhale. Inhaling, reaching those hands almost as if you're going to touch the floor. Turn the hands behind you and bring your hands behind you. Taking a hold of your hands, you can take a hold of your elbows. And if you can't reach your hands like this, get your strap. So if your shoulders are super tight, sometimes you need a strap, and that just takes the pressure off. So wherever you're at in this, right here, we're in mountain pose. We're going to take a nice deep inhale and lift those arms off the back. So for me, grabbing my elbows, I only can lift my hands off my back about 1/4 of an inch. If I release my hands down, I can come up higher. And if I use a strap, I can come even higher. The important thing is if you've got a hold of your hands, don't wrench your wrists. Be mindful to keep them straight, okay? So right here, we're gonna, as if somebody is drawing us straight down, sink back down into Uttanasana. Different. Open up that chest. Find your breath. Sinking a little lower. Going long in your crown. So, sinking back. Knees are traveling over the little toes. 2 more breaths. Good. Inhaling, drawing up, keeping those hands up, headed straight forward, bringing those hands up overhead. Now, if you have super stretchy shoulders, your hands might actually drop up over your head. Mostly, people just lift their hands off their back, and that's enough. Breathing into it. Good. As if somebody's taking a hold of your hands, inhaling, lifting yourself back up, releasing those hands, shake them out, give yourself some circles, wiggle around a little bit, and then come to mountain, coming back into stillness. Find your breath. It's these moments of stopping that are super important. Rest, stillness. This is when deep guidance comes in. Excellent. On the next inhale, we're going to step our feet. If you're not on the long way of the mat, go ahead and turn so that you are, so that you can take advantage of the sticky mat. Turning our feet parallel with the edges of the mat. Hands on our hips, taking a nice deep breath in, and we're going to head straight forward. If you can reach the floor, flat back, hands come down, bring long through your crown, then do that. Right here, forward fold, wide angle. You're going to feel this in your hamstrings. So from right here, lengthening through your crown, sink back into the hips. not a big movement. It's actually a really little movement, but you're going to feel it all the way down the back of your legs. Now lift a little higher through the tail. Also a little energetic movement here. It's less about straightening the legs. Now spin the knees open to the little toe and sink back a little bit further. These are these teeny tiny little movements that really open the back of the legs, dropping out of your head, going long in the crown. Beautiful. From right here, we're going to bring the left hand in front of our face and engage our core and spin open into a twist. Twisting it out, reach towards the ceiling, bring long in the crown. Close your eyes if you have the space to do so, if you need to keep them open. And notice in your body, wiggle your hips a little. Are you losing it into one direction? I'm sinking into my right hip because my core went on vacation. So you can twist and keep the hips balanced by engaging the core. Find your breath. Inhale through those fingertips. Exhale, slowly come back. Let this be a transverse muscle movement. You're working to do it slowly. If you let momentum bring you back, the muscles don't have to do anything because gravity's doing the job. So both hands on the floor again or on your block. Lengthen through your crown. If you don't have blocks and you can't reach the floor, you can put your hands on your shins. That works too. And sink back. Notice what's different. Notice how one hamstring feels looser. So the hamstring is the muscle that runs down the back of your leg, okay, from hip to knee. That's the hamstring. We're working to open the hamstrings because when we open the hamstrings, it releases the lower back. Placing the right hand in front of the face, engage that core, inhale, spin open the other direction. Sinking back, engaging that core. And if you begin, see how I begin to kind of spin out of my hips, bring them back, engage your core. Balance that, stabilize the pelvis, balance those hips. Breathing into it, find your breath. Feel the strength of holding the posture. Inhale through those fingertips. Exhale. Again, engage that core. Come back slowly. Feel all the muscles in your waist working to keep you from just dropping out of this. And then both hands on the floor again, sinking back in the hips. Go long in the crown. Breathe into it. So from right here, support yourself on your hands well. Spin those feet open. So you're going to just spin on the heels so that the toes are facing the corner of your mat. And you're going to sink down. You're going to come down in what I call the crab position. It's really a deep wide angle squat is what it is. Support yourself. Let your hands walk back if they need to. Right hand on the right knee. Left hand on the left knee. Sink it down right here. Now, you can come up. This is the one place where your shoulders can come up by your ears. I always look forward to having my shoulders up by my ears because they love to be there. So find the strength in this squat. Sit it down. See if you can sink it down a little lower. And then see if you can bring your body up. Bring that torso up a bit. There you go. Changes it. Engage that core. Breathing into it. Inhaling, coming up, halfway, sinking down. Coming up halfway, sinking down. Now, you'll begin to feel the heat build here. These are our largest muscles in the body. They build a lot of heat, lots of energy. You want to burn calories. These are the muscles to work because they burn lots of calories. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Knowing that at any time, if this is too much, you can take a break. Smile. because this is awesome. And when it's not awesome, if you smile, it makes it more awesome. All right, last one, inhaling up and then go back down. Now hold it down, lift that right heel. Oh, hello. Lots of love to everybody. Heel down, lift that left heel. Heel down, come up. Woo! Take a break here, walk those feet in, walk it out. All right, back to wide angle pose. Spin that right foot to face the wall or whatever you're facing. Inhaling the hands up. We're headed to triangle. We haven't done any just plain old triangles in a while. So let's hinge at the hips and just hang out right here in the hinge. Don't twist yet. Take note of what you feel. Where do you feel this? Is your core engaged? So what happens if the core's on vacation here is you get this booty back thing like this. Bring that booty underneath you. Hinge at the hips a little deeper. Reach for that front wall. So where I'm feeling it is right here on the inside of this front leg and right here down my IT band. Now tip into it. So this is less about sliding down to the floor and more about the strength of holding the posture in your body. So it's almost like you're between two panes of glass. You don't want to be leaning forward. You don't want to be leaning back. You want to just be sliding straight down. Find your breath. Doesn't matter where you look. What matters is that you're lengthening through the crown of your head. Breathe into it. Feel this body opening. The triangle pose is a great posture. If you only have time for one pose, throw your mat out, do a triangle. It catches everything. Good. 2 more breaths. Inhaling, lifting up, coming out of it, hands down, feet facing forward, hands on the hips. Take an exhale and dive forward. Hands on the mat. Let's do a couple cat-cows. If you need to walk your hands a little bit out so that they're under your shoulders and you can lengthen through your crown, and then inhale into cow, exhale into cat. This is not as big as dramatic as if we're standing or on all fours. So follow your breath. Inhaling down, exhaling up into cat. One more, inhaling down, exhaling up. Beautiful. Spin those feet open to the corners, sinking those hips down, hands onto your knees, coming up. Oh, these again, yes. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Pause, coming all the way up. Spin that back foot parallel with the mat, left foot open, heading into triangle. So hands come up first. So right now we're just kind of over the center of our body. Now we're going to hinge and reach for that front body. Beautiful hinging. Engage that core. See if you can reach that front body a little more. Hinge a little more in the hips. Whew. Where are you feeling it? Just notice, bring your breath to the resistance and then tip into it. Right into triangle. It's less about the floor, more about being between those imaginary panes of glass. Lengthening through the crown, growing long in the spine. If on the exhale you lower down, that's okay. You can lower down. Three more breaths. Last one. Inhaling, coming all the way up. All the way. Coming back to 5-pointed star right here. Find your balance. Exhaling your hands behind you, right behind you. Clasping those hands together, using your strap, or you can do your elbows, whichever one you want. Lengthen those arms down. Really let that chest come out, lift those arms up. Exhale, dive forward. There it is. Feel the opening. Find your breath. Going long in your crown. Lifting through the tail. On the next inhale, like somebody's taking your hands and lifting you up, coming back, releasing those hands, walking those feet in, coming in, coming back to mountain. Take a minute in mountain. Grow long in your crown. Feel the power in mountain. So on the next inhale, bring yourself back into the room. Find a drishti point to look at. That's a static point that's not moving. We're going to inhale our hands up to parallel with the floor right here. Going into our left foot. Let's start on the left side, non-dominant side. Engage that pelvic floor and lift that knee up. I might appear to be opposite of you. That's okay. Let the foot be flexed and the knee at a 90-degree angle. Now, if you feel super stretchy and powerful, you can straighten that leg out. Not happening in the spine. Not today. This is good balance for me. If you want more of a challenge, straighten your leg and reach for your toe. Where are you in your body today? Keep focusing and breathing. Everybody kind of stop breathing at the same time. 3 more breaths. And exhaling, stepping out of the step wide. Give yourself some space in those hips. Big space. Other way, big space. Feel those hip joints. Feel the balls of the hips are right about here. They're lower than you imagine. Stronger than you can anticipate. And then step back into mountain. Find your mountain right here. Find your center. Find your balance on both feet. Then inhaling the hands to parallel with the floor. Finding your drishti point, pouring into that right foot. And then lifting that left leg to a 90-degree angle. Again, if you want more of a challenge, you can straighten your leg. And level 3 would be grabbing your toe. Always an option. No requirement. Engage that pelvic floor. Keep breathing. Two more breaths. And exhaling, stepping out of it. Stepping wide. Big circles here. Get the knees involved. Get the ankles involved. Everything lower body is not just a forward joint. There's a lot of circular motion that happens even in the knees. That stop and pivoting in the knees. They go all directions. It's not like the shoulder where it's a round joint, but it still goes more than just forward and back. And then bring those feet back together. Take a minute, come into mountain pose, drop in, close your eyes. Notice what's different. For me, there's a silence in my thinking mind. It's always a beautiful thing. Nicely done. Stepping towards the front of your mat. Taking a nice deep inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands on either side of the feet. We're going to pass through downward facing dog as we go all the way to the floor. So hang out in dog for a minute if you want. Walk through it. You don't have to. You can pass straight forward into plank and lower all the way down to the floor. It's really a transition move today. So here we are. Lengthening through the right foot and the left foot. Hands are underneath our shoulders. We're going to lengthen through our crown and draw those shoulders back and down with the elbows in tight. Engage that core and grow long in your crown. So cobra is the posture. This is where we're at today. Mine's a little one to start off with. If you need a bigger cobra than this to start off with, then you can have it. Feel the power in the posture. Find your breath. Inhaling and exhaling, lowering down, turn your head to one side. Release the hands to the floor. Bring the knees up and gently rock them side to side. We've done a lot of work in the legs today, so make sure and give them a little extra love. When we rock them side to side like this on the floor, it massages the front of the thighs, which is the quadricep group. They work really hard in those squats. Excellent. Now, lengthening through the right leg, through the left leg. Bringing your hands back under your shoulders. Engage that core to feel that pubic bone press to the floor. And inhale, draw those elbows in and up and lengthen longer into cobra. Now, just remember, do your cobra. Not my cobra, only do yours. Find your breath. This is a nice, beautiful back bend that we've got going on. Pelvic floor engaged, breathing into it. Feel the power of cobra. Feel the strength of the pelvic floor. Feel this heart opener. Feel your heart opening. Draw your elbows in a little bit more. Find your breath. Grow long in the crown. Nice long inhale. Exhale, lowering down slowly. All the way down. Turning your head the opposite direction. Lifting those feet up. And rock those feet side to side. Release that low back. Now, if cobra ever gives you low back trouble, your core is not engaged, you might be going too high for what your body is ready, honor that. It's really about keeping the body safe and honoring what it can and cannot do. All right, last one. We're going to lengthen through the left leg and then the right leg. And for me, the left leg again. Hands come up under the shoulders, elbows in, back and down. Engage that pelvic floor. So I always say pubic bone to the floor because that gives you a great sensation of pressing into the floor as you draw up through the pelvic floor. And as you're ready, inhale, lifting up into cobra. Let the energy of this posture support you. Spitting all over the place. Breathing into it. Find your breath. Holding your breath makes it more challenging. Exhaling, lowering down, and then pressing back into child's pose. So draw those feet together, knees are open, child's pose. What do you need to give to Mother Earth? Open that third eye, let her have it, let her have it all. This is a great posture for releasing anything that is holding you back, anything that's weighing you down. Breathing into it. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do, only child's pose. On the next inhale, find your way to lying on the back. So everybody's going to be really excited to know that I have an entire core class planned, and that's just not what came through today. We'll save that for another day. Some days energy changes when I step on the mat. A lot of times the mind will have a great plan, but spirit has something different for us, and we need to learn to follow that. Lengthen through the crown of the body. Lengthen through your tail. So right here, this is a great place to really get a sense of the spine dropping and connecting to the floor. Lengthen through that spine and then draw your knees in. And just bring them in and release them out. And bring them in and release them out. So this is almost like a little bit of a pumping motion. It's almost as if we're encouraging the spinal column and the fluid in the spinal column to help it move. This is also a great lymphatic drainage movement because it stimulates all of the internal organs. And the lymphatic system doesn't have a pumping system other than exercise or massage. So when we can create our own massage, this helps us support our immune system. 2 more. And last one. Good job. Lengthening through that left leg. Lengthen all the way through the left leg. Hover it off the floor. With both legs, flex the foot, point the toe. Flex the foot, point the toe. Feel that lower pelvic floor supporting the body as you do this, because your left leg is still not laying down on the floor. You're holding it up while you're resting the head. 2 more. Good. Lower that left foot down. Let that right leg come in a little bit tighter. Taking a hold of your ankle, spinning that knee around and opening it. Feeling this in the hip right here. You're going to feel this. So this is actually reverse pigeon. When we do pigeon upright, it puts a lot of stress and pressure on the knee, which is okay. Stress and pressure is okay. But this is a great way to do pigeon if you have knee or hip issues. And the way you deepen this is to lift the foot a little higher and then create the twist. You're going to feel it all the way down the hamstrings, catching some of the IT band. So from right here, engage that pelvic floor and bring that foot across your body, letting the foot go to the floor rather than the knee. So it's like you're going to cross that foot over, encouraging it, opening that arm. So this is a twist. It's not as deep. More about the hips. Looking to that opposite hand. And you can hold your ankle, you can hold your knee. Sometimes you can't reach your ankle in this posture. You're super tight in the hips. It won't let you. Find your breath. 2 more. And then bring your head out of it. Lift that foot up. Still have pigeon happening here. And just bring it all the way over. As if you're going to touch your knee to the floor. You probably won't. But you can imagine that you are. And then back to center. Bringing that knee back straight. Lengthening through the leg. Point the toe. Flex the toe. Point the toe. Flex the toe. Let's have some circles. Pull it out. And circle the other way. And then bring that left leg up to meet it and draw the knees in. And switching sides. So we're just going to let that right leg hover, flex the feet, point the feet. Flex the feet, point the feet. Flex and point. 2 more. And last one, lowering that right leg down, draw that knee in, taking a hold of that left ankle, opening that knee. Coming into pigeon. Reverse pigeon actually because we're lying down. Woo, feel it in the hips, flex that foot. Changes the posture if you let your foot go soft, which I did. I got the hiccups, sorry. Breathing into it. And then bring that foot across the body. Notice how this side is different. Double check that pelvic floor as it travels over. Eventually the hip will come with it. Set that foot onto the floor. This posture always feels a little pretzel-y to me. Looking to the other hand. Breathing into it. Sinking down. Twisting into it. Pelvic floor is engaged. Find your breath. Nice. Inhaling, bringing yourself back out. Coming back into that ankle is open. And then kind of let that knee head to the floor. Bring it back to center. Release it out. Lengthen through that foot. Woo. Point the toe. Flex. Point. Flex. Circle it around. Reverse it. Okay, bring that other foot up to meet it as if there's a sandbag on your feet and pretend like your legs are up the wall. So just feel yourself drop in here. You can draw those knees in a little closer. Take a deep breath. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Ask your body at this point, body, is there anything else that you need? And if there is, follow it. Move into meditation and motion. You're going to take a few breaths to do that. Otherwise, you can prepare for Shavasana. Body might just really be ready for Shavasana. But it also might want a downward facing dog. It might want a shoulder stand, honor whatever it needs. This is the time that if the body is feeling imbalanced anywhere, that it needs anything else, to do it, to find it. We'll take the next 4 or 5 breaths, finishing that. And then finding your way into Shavasana. What feels supportive to you today? Do you need a bolster under your knees? Does maybe supine goddess feel good? Or maybe just good old Shavasana feels delicious. It is the everyday tasks that we find the joy. Rise, eat, work, play, rest. Find the balance in your life. Gratitude, expression, loving kindness, compassion. Find the balance in your own life so that you may share it with others. Honor the divine. Find the balance. Live in joy. So you're welcome to stay in Shavasana if you want more of this wonderful posture. Otherwise, begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Find your way. Hands to your heart. Namaste.